Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
Okay, today what I want to talk about, doctors, is building your personal injury practice through power, through understanding what power really is. Because power, as I explained it to you, is going to be what makes it easier and easier for you to do whatever you want to. So let's make sure we understand what power is. It's the ability to do something or act in a particular way. That's a power. It's a capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others. Right? So if you, now, some of you immediately are going to go, oh, power's evil. Power can be bad. Too much power is bad. Too much of anything is bad. Power is a flow. It's a two-way flow. And anytime it gets out of balance or misaligned, yes, it can be very problematic, but that's not what we're talking about here. Control is another thing. If, people say, oh, control is bad, control is bad, control is bad. Well, if you don't control your car, it's going to be bad for you. You're going to get into accidents. So control is good and bad. The overbalance of anything, the overbalance of power is not a good thing, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the ability to do something or act in a particular way, the capacity or ability to direct or influence. Power, by the root of his word, is to be able. So the more able you are, the more powerful you are. Now, the more able you are to do something or act in a particular way, the more you are able to, the more powerful you are. The more able you are to be able to direct or influence the behavior of others, the more able you are, the more power you have. What a lot of doctors in the personal injury space are going, okay, how do I create my practice? How do I build a better practice? How do I get a bigger practice? How do I get more referrals? How do I figure out how to get attorney referrals? How do I figure out how to get MD referrals? How do I figure out how to get better results? And so one of the things that you do is you have to understand power. You have to understand that power is a balanced thing. It's a two-way thing. So a lot of people, myself included early on, did not know how power works. And so power is when a patient comes in and they pay for your services. Let's say a patient comes in, don't even take the injury market. Let's say a patient comes in and they say, hey, I'm going to spend $4,500 on your plan. And they cut you a check. You are going to feel what power feels like. It's going to feel very empowering. Like, wow, they're acknowledging you. They're saying this is important. They're acknowledging what you do and your existence is important. And they are empowering you. Now, you can power them back by getting them great results. And by realizing that as a powerful person, the more and more you understand power is a two-way thing. In order to generate power, if you just look at it in on this planet at this time, in order to generate power, there has to be two terminals, a positive and negative terminal, right? You spin a magnet around those two terminals and you generate electricity, you generate power. But it doesn't happen around one. You can't have just one. It's at least two, and then you can develop multiples of it. Right? So if a person has the ability to do something or act in a particular way, let's say that they're building the best personal injury centers. And now they've built one, they built two, they built three, they built 10, they built 20. And now because of their influence, they're able to influence state associations, national, insurance companies. That's power. Right? They have the ability or the capability to influence the behavior of others. That's power. If you take a person like Gandhi can take a whole billion people and get them to influence their behavior in a particular way. A president of the United States has power because they have the ability to influence the behaviors of others. That's what power is, but it's two-way. Like I said, there's two terminals. There's two positive and negative that are held together. That's how you generate power. So look at your power relationships right now. You all have power relationships. I mean, I've had plenty of power relationships in my life. I can look at like right now, I'm making this podcast is 9:29. One of my staff members is in the office, and she is a guru at actually doing things that I'm not good at, which is organizing things. Oh my God, she can organize, right? And when she organizes my space, my activities, she's flowing me power. Now I sit in meetings and I say, okay, how can I flow her more power? How can I flow her? What do we got to do so I can flow her more money? And power doesn't necessarily have to be, when you empower people, it can be, hey, how good are you getting them results? How good are you acknowledging them? Are you, in my clinic, and doctors, please try this. In my clinic, we used to about once a month, once every 2 months, this was later in my clinic career, we would have what I would call Patient Admiration Day. Now, if you've ever felt admired, you're going to feel more powerful, right? If somebody admires you, oh my God, you look great today. Oh my, I just love the way your teeth look. Oh my God, your hair is fantastic. Wow, that outfit that you have on today is amazing, right? If somebody actually admires something about you, you will feel empowered. Now, if you want to actually understand, power is a two-way thing. The best thing you can do is empower them back. And I'm not saying, all of a sudden you're giving some, weak compliment back because you felt complimented. That's not what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be right at that time. But if people empower you, you have to flow the power back to them. Here's another example. So if someone feels uncertain about something, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Could be a patient, could be could be another business owner, could be another chiropractor, could be anybody. And you improve or remove what is causing them to be uncertain, they will feel empowered. Just like you, when somebody helps you, a coach, a mentor, a family member, your priest, your minister, it doesn't matter who it is. If somebody helps remove uncertainty in your life, you will feel at that moment power. And you'll feel, wow, I'm elated. I want to go out and I want to set the world on fire. I want to contribute back. Well, one of the things you have to contribute back is to that which you got your power. Right? So if I'm plugged in, if I plug in a charger and I can plug I plug an electrical cord to me, and all of a sudden that power cord is going, oh my God, it's doing great things for me. Again, this is an analogy. If I disconnect the cord, I disconnect from the power that powers me. So if you have attorneys out there, you have medical doctors out there that really do a great job, maybe they're not doing anything in the referral wise with you yet. Flow them power. If you have mentors out there, flow them success. One of the things, like I do a Smart Injury Doctors program, and the thing that empowers me is wins. It's doctors that are winning. They're winning with their patients. They're experiencing things with their patients that they haven't experienced before. They're experiencing success. When they experience success, that empowers me. But here's the thing. You have to share your success. So let's say that let's say that you taught somebody something and they took it out and they created $1 billion company, but you never knew it. Are you empowered? No. Did they flow power back to you? No. So power is a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. Now, what about people that don't empower you? Don't put your attention on them. Right? Yes, you have to have your attention on them enough to do whatever it is you're going to do. Let's say you have the patient that's always talking about, they're just negative. They're negative Nelly. They're just miserable to be around. They must be miserable for people to be around. Right? That person, you're not going to flow any power to. Right? And you're going to flow enough because they're flowing a tiny bit to you. They're coming into your clinic or whatnot. You're going to flow enough to them, but there's not a lot of exchange that needs to occur there. Now, what about the person that comes in and says, oh my God, my life changed. My life changed. I want to give you a testimonial. I want to give, doctor, can I please give you a testimonial? Now you think about how you're going to feel with that patient, right? You're going to want to do everything. Oh my God, they're willing to promote that we're just the most phenomenal clinic out there. Okay, are you going to empower them? Yes. If they call you on a late Friday night and say, oh my gosh, something just bad happened, I need to get into your clinic, are you going to bend over backwards to make sure that they can get service? Hell yes. If you know what you're doing with power, you're going to do that. Right? So power is a two-way thing. People say, "Hey, look, I want to get attorney or referral relationships. I want medical doctor referral relationships." Well, good. Try to figure out how you can flow them power before they ever flow anything back to you. I always say in our Smart Injury Doctors program, we get doctors that say, "Hey, how do I call an attorney? How do I get an attorney to pick up the call and take a call?" Say, flow them. The idea of what you want, flow to them. Good. What do you want? Hey, I want referrals. I want you to send all of your business to me. Good. What do they want? Hey, I want you to send all your business to me. Good. So how is it? Is it hard to actually get a attorney to take a call? No. Hey, hi, my name's Dr. Kronk. I'm with Kronk Chiropractic. We run a big injury center here. We're growing. We'll be one of the dominant injury centers around because of what we're producing here. We do some really specialized work. I'm looking for an attorney that is open to taking more business, that can take referrals, but I'd like to meet with you to make sure that you're comfortable representing our type of injuries. Good. Are they going to take that call? Yeah, they're going to take that call. Why? Because you're flowing them potential in power. One, you're acknowledging they exist. You're acknowledging that they could be really good at what they do, and you're acknowledging that you would like to find out more about them. You potentially want to energize them. Right? Now, if you can do something for them, if they're smart, they're going to energize you in some way. Maybe it's like, hey, you know what? The way we're set up here, we can't direct referrals, or we don't do that. But you know what? I have a friend that does. And so I want to introduce him to you because you've been so good to us. I want to make introductions to you. Hey, I know that you do I know that you also do injury work for industry. I have a really good friend of mine that runs a company, and they're looking at their HR, and they're having so many back injuries, so many neck injuries. You get the idea of it. You flow power, right? And that which makes you really powerful, you don't ever really disconnect from. You continue to flow power to them. That can be your wife. That can be your husband. That can be your significant other. That can be your mate. It can be your kids. It can be whoever. So when you want to grow anything, it's important, one, for you to flow power to that which you owe or you depend on for power. The other thing is always be willing to power up. Now, power up means, hey, if you got somebody that's doing something, or you want to do something and you're going, hey, how do I do it? Find people that have already done it. Like I've said, my son, who's a really good music producer, he wants to produce music, and he does a really good job with it. I've said to him before, the way to actually really get into this is find somebody who's really good at what they do and go work for them for free. Go do anything you can to be around them. Because why? What's the exchange? Well, the exchange is their knowledge. The exchange is being able to see how they operate. That's the exchange. Right? So when I was a mentor of the sales trainer that I like and who we flow energy to, and they flow energy back to us, is Grant Cardone, right? So the very first month after I met him, we were in Dubai introducing him to the royal family. Did I ask for anything for that? No. Do you know why? Because he had more to give to me than I had to give to him. So I needed to flow him as much as I possibly could. When I say, look, you need attention in the market, If you understand power, you can get attention in the market, right? Because what you want to do is you want to go and make sure that you're flowing power, energy, admiration, interest. Doesn't have to be money, to that which you think could be a potential power to you. And when they truly become a power for you, they generate power for you. It could be, like I said, if you take a admiration day for your patient, all the staff, we used to do it. Everybody just picks out something that they could say to a person that's not phony. It's not something realistically that they could say, hey, wow, you really, I really like the way you've dressed today, or your shirt looks great on you. Have you, you look like you're really getting fit, whatever it is, right? You just look at somebody and you go, you'll pick out something to admire about them and admire it. Watch what happens when you do that for a day. I used to have my staff, we do it. We just pick a day and I'd say, okay, today's patient admiration day, right? And you will see the power. That's power. You're exchanging something. You're helping to make them feel better, more powerful. They in turn will do the same for you. And when you understand this relationship of power and how it works, it makes building a practice a lot easier. Your patients, you empower them by getting results. You empower them with your communication skills. Remember that power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, or it's the ability or capacity to direct or influence the behavior of others. Right? Well, one of the behaviors could be, well, we're going to take you out of pain behavior to a no pain behavior. Right? And so when you empower people and you help them through a situation, if they know what to do with you, they will empower you back. But sometimes you have to help them, right? So in personal injury practice, you have to help them by giving them tools. Hey, if you want them to empower you back, give them tools, give them information that they can pass on to others. And they will start to promote you. You can start a mini promoting army within your clinic. All you got to do is know the characteristics of power, the exchange of power. If somebody comes in, let's say that this person went, wow, they've referred me in single-handedly. In the last 2 years, they've referred in 20 injury patients to me. Okay, you are going to feel out exchange. Like, okay, what can I do for them? And you should, right? You should do something for them. Find out what would be nice to do for them. Acknowledge them. Thank them. So that's power. And when you understand power and you know what to do with it, and if you start to practice it, just empower people. People are surrounded by people who have no idea of what I'm talking about, right? They go, they check out, they're waiting. Maybe there's a line backed up, and now they're giving some attitude to the person who's sitting there trying to wait on them. Okay, and I always think, wow, they have no idea. So instead of going, and my wife's taught me so much in this area, right? She just empowers people. She says something to them that's really nice, almost always. And I'm not nearly as good, but she's an example for me. So I flow her as much power as I can. But if you just empower people, hey, I really appreciate the speed in which you're checking me out, right? I love the store. Say something to them that you could admire, right? About anything around them, and watch what happens. You do that enough and you will start to understand and learn power, and growing a practice or growing any damn thing that you want to will get a lot easier. Now, there is no absolute. There's no perfect to this. I'm not perfect to this, right? When I'm now teaching this and doing this podcast, guess what? I'm thinking about, hey, how could I do that better? So what I wanted to talk about today, doctors, was just power and a little bit of a riff on it. I hope something I said today will help you. Look, we empower people in the injury space. We want the best injury doctors. As a matter of fact, we're creating a movement of doctors that are the best at what they do. It's called the Smart Injury Doctors Program. And If you want to find out more about our program, call 800-940-6513 or go to our website, www.smartinjurydoctors.com. If you want to, we have a free Facebook user group where we empower people with more and more information so that you can work your way up and you can go, hey, yeah, I'm getting a feel for these guys and this group and this team and these people. And they seem like they have the kind of thing that I might want to have. They seem powerful. So I want to find out more about them. That is the way it works, doctors. It's going to work in your practice. It works in our practice. So again, if you have any comments, concerns, like this, hate it, put them in the, if you're on Apple, give us reviews. Give me some feedback. Again, these are always short, sweet, and to the point, and I'm just taking a particular piece and doing a little bit of a riff on it. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out in some way. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.